Welcome to Rusty Rose Adventures. I'm Max and this is my rusty but trusty home on wheels, Rose. She's 30 years old, done 260,000 miles and spent years out of action before I gave her a second chance at life. After 8 months of restoration, I hit the road to chase my dream of travelling the world. For the past 2 years, I've explored the stunning landscapes of England, Wales and Scotland, but now it's time to take her further than ever. To make that happen, she needs a bit more TLC, starting with swapping the rear axle, changing the front springs and tackling some other small jobs. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So, today I'm going to jack the van up to do the front leaf springs. Yoshi, just stay there please. But I thought I'd show you, we are just packing some prints. So thanks to everyone that's ordered. If you would like any of the prints, so there's a lovely picture of Callum. Here is the Ben Nevis hut. So yeah, if you fancy any of these, the last jam, apologies, has gone, but we'll be back later this year in September when the seasons are there for the blackberries. And then the other thing is the calendar, which we've got hung up. At the moment we're on Carskew Bridge, so there's only about 4 or 5 of these left. So if you want to buy one, so yeah, if you would like to buy any of those bits, the link will be first link in the description. Go check that out, tangledearthlings.co.uk. You can also put it in Google and it's there. So yeah, go check out our website, browse, see if you fancy anything. If you see any of the prints that I stick up in the videos, let me know that you like it. Maybe you'd like it as a print, and maybe we can sort that out. And I will be putting a little poll of what prints we should get printed off next. But for now, jam's gone, calendars are almost gone. So yeah, if you fancy a print or a calendar, please do check the link below. But for now, I'm just going to carry on packaging these up. Chelsea's usually really good at this because it's her expertise. She's all on the aesthetics point of view, but yeah, we've got do not bend envelopes, so hopefully it'll get to you in very good condition. Fragile stickers for the jam so that it doesn't also get damaged. That's the front of the calendar, and we've got a lovely picture on the back of the calendar as well. February, lovely and snowy. September, and a lovely sunset from the Cairngorms in December. Lots of stuff from our travels around Scotland. So yeah, if you've watched the videos and want to like get a reminder of where I've been and all of the little pictures we've taken, then yeah, it's a great little memory and way of supporting the channel. So I'd really appreciate that. Look at that blue sky. Right, so today's aim is spin the van round, so when I jack the front up, she's level, because I've got to drop the axle, take the calipers off of these, hopefully rebuild these calipers, and maybe look at unbolting the leaf springs and stuff today. Chelsea's van is also out of action, and that's also on my agenda to fix tomorrow, hopefully. The tensioner pulley for the auxiliary belt, the pulley on it, the bearing collapsed and the pulley came off basically. And it's happened every single year, so instead of buying a whole new tensioner like Chelsea's normally done, I've just bought the pulley for 16 quid and then I'm just going to bolt it on. So yeah, the pulley's arrived, but we're still waiting on the auxiliary belt because it ruined it. So in the meantime, before we go on our next adventure in Mona, the moaning Vauxhall Movano, in order to get the front jacked up, she'll be out of action, so I'm going to top up on water, so I'm going to quickly drive her to the tap and then reverse her back in, and we can get the front jacked up and blocked up. Hello over there.
Did you forget that you were all plugged in? Charlie was.
Yep. Goddamn camera batteries, dead again, man. Right, my aim is to get the 2 jacks from in the shed. Thanks, Charlie, that you've left yours here. I might tilt the panel as well, because the sun's out today as well. Woo! Yeah, right, because you can tell how much is on the piers, literally just piling this way. So I need to get jacked up on blocks and get the slack off the suspension. Right, okay, so we're going to start by jacking this side up, and I'm going to try and put Charlie's jack under. Right, that's one jack under. I have to put a jack this side, and I'm going to put a block under the rear wheels. Still sat on the wheels. I need to take the wheels off. So as you can see, she's still sat on the wheels, only just. Oh no, I still can't quite turn that. That one's still sat on the jack. I'm just going to leave it for now because I'm hungry and I'm just going to make some porridge. But look how much leaf spring gap there is now between the bump stop. Loads! These front springs are really soft. Even though they're double leafed, they're just designed for the cab, so they're not designed to hold loads of weight. That's what I'm hoping she'll sit like. The sump way up there, because the sump sits level with the axle. She won't sit quite this high, but it would be nice. Look at that wheel arch gap. We'll see what she sits like, but that would be sick. Front leaf springs, hopefully should be here in the next couple of days. They have been to and since left Glasgow. They're on their way into Inverness and then they'll be coming to Fort William. So hopefully in the next few days. But as I say, I've also got Chelsea van to fix, but as I say, I'm going to try and get the wheels off, calipers off, and maybe even the springs off. We'll see what happens. So yeah. Busy day. One thing I didn't show you yet is these. So I've got this side on an axle stand and a block, and that side on just a big tree trunk and a block as well. So yeah, she's jacked up, looking nice and high as you just saw. And when you look in the wheel arches, you can actually see things. So look at in there. See, she's not too bad. The other side, she's got a little bit of rust at the bottom of the wing. This side's tidy. This side, she's got a little bit of rust there where I've welded a bit on. So she needs a little bit of a clean up, and then this is the other little crack I was on about just there. It's nothing major, it's just it's cracked along the weld. So yeah, re-weld that. But yeah, look, you can see the engine all nice and shiny through there. So I just put my spider plants out because they've not had any sun in ages, because we've not had any sun in ages. So it's really nice just to be out in a jumper. But yeah, let's get cracking. I've got to take the wheels off as well. Rose now has a hanging front axle. So at the moment I might take the shock off first just to make sure that that's not going to get in the way of taking the leaf springs and stuff off. Really I can just lower the axle down onto blocks for now, because the anti-roll bar I think is going to stay attached, and so is the steering bars on the other side I was showing you. I need to watch the video again, but basically the other Mercedes guy, I'll link his card up here if you're interested, but the other guy who does all the Mercedes videos, he's got 410D, he's got similar calipers, and he blocked like some of the bleed nipples and stuff and did it with an air gun to pop the pistons out. But you can do it on the vehicle while the hose and stuff is still attached by pressing the pedal. Obviously I need to take the caliper off and the pads out and get it away from the disc, and it is annoying because it's got a bit of hard line here. There's hose and then hard line to the actual caliper. Really, I need to just rebuild them because it pulls to the left a little bit. I think the driver's one is sticky a little bit. So I've just removed the shocks, and now I'm on to removing... What have I done with the bloody WD-40? Now I'm on to removing the leaf spring U-bolts at the bottom. But I forgot to soak these bolts in WD. But let's see. I've put blocks under so it can just drop to it. And then the new leaf springs are going to be obviously bigger anyway, probably. It's going to be not fun taking these. I've just realised I should do this first. I just really want to get the leaf springs off. But let's do things in the right order. These pins out, of which I've just got a nail punch, a little punch. It's perfect for doing this. Here we go. Now this was a new pad kit not long ago, so it's not too bad, so I'm going to keep it. Right, then we can pull these back a little bit, and hopefully pull the pads out. One of them's 19, the other one at the bottom is 24. I know I shouldn't use one of these, but I'm just impatient. Now, try and get the pads out. I need to get my adjustable grips. Just pushing the metal back plate against the caliper. And then they just pull out. But you got to be careful, as I said, because it's hard line. So, these are okay. Look pretty evenly worn as well, so that's quite nice. Obviously got plenty of life left, I know that. And these are fine on the backs here. The other, look, the anti-squeak plate seems to move on them. So I don't know why it likes to move and misbehave, but if anyone's got any tips, let me know, because that anti-squeak plate's always falling off. So right, the only thing holding this on now is the hard brake line, which I am going to take off obviously, but I'm going to try and put my foot on the pedal and basically push these pistons out. We'll see how it goes. Well, nothing happened then. They've come out a bit for sure. So I guess I just keep pumping until they come out, and I think the ones that don't come out I'm just going to have to leave. Pedal's just gone a bit harder then. That one's out. This one's out a little bit. These two are still stuck in. How about now? Yeah, so it should push them all out a little bit, then I take the caliper off, and then I should just be able to twist them out with some adjustable grips. There we go, that went hard, which means all of them, there we are. Crack this brake pipe off, hopefully it'll come off okay. The worst bit is when it sticks to the pipe and then fucks your pipe. Getting 200 watts in from one of the panels, about 300-ish in total. I saw like 380 though. Some nice sunshine today. It is the 19th of January. As we go into February, always, my birthday is always sunny. I touch wood. Got no wood to touch in here. Oh, here's wood. Touch wood. It's the same. Because, yeah, I do quite like when the sun comes out on my birthday, usually in a t-shirt. I could be in a t-shirt today, to be fair. It's like 8 degrees. It's not bad. So, I've got my adjustable grips now. And hopefully, I can pull these out. But I imagine that's going to be easier said than done. Oh, that one wasn't too bad. And one of these was proper stuck. But these don't look the best, but I'll try and polish them up. I'll see if I can get some emery or something. I could have bought new ones, but they were fucking expensive. So, I didn't. Make sure they got no rust on, and hopefully they'll be alright. But yeah, that's a good little tip. That doesn't take forever to get them out then, because you've done most of the work with the piston. As you can hear, all the brake fluid is pissing out. Probably should have collected it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Like that. Right, let's pull that seal off, and then grab the piston. I'm just using this hand to like put pressure this way. Ah, haha! That one This is this one that was solid, and this one has a hole in it. There we go. Oh, that's solid. Water's probably got in there. I hope I don't need a new piston, man. Uh-oh. Maybe I'll take the other calipers apart and see if I can make one good one between the pair of them now. But wow, this is solid. Fucking hell. I have a blowtorch now, so maybe I could heat this up. I suppose buy new pistons for the other ones and sell them as refurbished calipers. If anyone's looking for refurbished calipers for their T1 and you can't buy them, I can hook you up with some, because at the end of this project I will have some refurbished spare. I'll have 2 set refurbished, one on roads and one spare. So if you want a pair of, if you have a T1 and you need a pair of brake calipers, which you cannot buy the original Brembo ones, I will have rebuilt a pair, so get in contact. My email, rustyroseadventures@gmail.com, is in the description, so yeah, just email me there. Right, now I can get back on to putting the 19 on this again though, and trying to drop the leaf springs. Well, the axle. Right, that's one side down. And that's that side off. Now, back when I did all of this originally, all the brake pads and stuff, I knew minimal stuff about mechanics. And this is what I mean, like, I don't know everything, I just get started somewhere. And now, each task I get more and more in depth, and like, I regret not doing all of this, but then again, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how the hubs worked. I then did the wheel bearings when I did the discs, and learned all about that. And now I know all about everything, and like greasing everything up when I put the shocks on, it's all just dry. And all the bolts from Mercedes, they're like that gold galv kind of stuff, not the bluey tinge, like where they're that yellowy gold. And like, you pull them out of shafted bolts that are just metal on metal, you pull them out and it's perfectly still gold to this day. The heads are rusty, the nuts are rusty, the threads are rusty, but that little shank in the middle is like bob on. They use some quality bolts, and to restore that, just wrap everything in copper grease when you're putting it back together. So that's one thing I've learned, and when I'm doing all of this, we'll be going back together, because little tips like that, I just thought, oh, I just put it back together, it's not rusty. Then it goes rusty. Stop it going rusty, smother it in some kind of grease. I like lithium grease or copper grease for most things. The sky is lovely, apart from the chemtrails. The lines in the sky. That axle is fully unbolted, so if I put this block under, I should be able to just drop it down. These U-bolts definitely seem to be coming yeah, they're definitely a bit looser than the rear ones. There we go, that's one side down. And the other side is already down. The axle is now disconnected, apart from the steering and drop links. I just lifted these off the centre bolt, and all in that gap is just left a pile of rust. This side's probably better because the light's hitting it. Here we are. So yeah, there's the big pile of rust I was just on about, as you can see. But yeah, that is now the axle separated, which now means, before it gets dark, I'm going to loosen off the other bolts and literally take the leaf springs out, so Rose does not have any front leaves. But yeah, might as well get it all done. Then I know those bolts are out, get the shackles out, which are this little bit, this like U-bit, then bolts to another bolt just back up there, which you can't quite see. And that allows, obviously, as the leaf spring straightens out when the weight's loaded on it, it gets longer. So this swinger goes back and then forth as the suspension goes up and down. So yeah, need to take that off, and that's what I need to change the bushing, because the new leaf spring should come with new bushes, but then I need to change that top one up there. Oh. And there we are. One leaf spring now removed. This gun makes things so easy, but it is huge as well. But it does that. So not really complaining. Is it focusing? Brand spanking I mean, this one, even the thread's good on it. This one's exceptionally good, but it is tucked right up out the way. Now this should just, there we go. Yeah, that bush looks alright, to be fair. I think it's just the ones in the leaf springs themselves. Okay, right. I've just taken the front bolt out, which I think was put in cross-threaded. Be my fault probably, but anyway. Before this camera battery dies, I would like to see if this bloody leaf spring will come out. Come on! Come on! I think I've welded it to it or something stupid. Right, well this leaf spring was an absolute nightmare to get off because of last year's crash. Kind of fucked the leaf spring carrier a little bit. But anyway, it's out. As you can see, no leaf spring in there. And Rose is wheelless again, but on the other axle now and still in bits. And in here we've got the leaf springs themselves. So here, as you can see, I've just piled everything up in driver's side and passenger side, and all of the bits to accommodate each side. The shackle, the calipers, all of the pistons are there. Shackle, calipers. So yeah, lots of bits, and then a pot of bolts for each side as well. Everything else needs cleaning up and putting back on the van basically. So yeah, that's aim for another day, seeing it's getting dark now. My aim is to tidy up and get everything back into here. So yeah, tomorrow the parts for Chelsea's van should be, well, the pulley's here, it's just whether the belt arrives because it's stripped, the pulley came off and stripped the belt basically. So yeah, we need a new belt as well, can't go anywhere without a new belt. So we'll see what happens with her van and what progress we get, and if we're still waiting for a parcel for a while, I might get some bits done tomorrow, but I did write a list, I've already forgotten. I need to get that piston out of that caliper mainly, and try and, yeah, but you'll see when I get there. I keep editing videos back and realising that I'm chatting about what I'm going to do and then do it, so you see it twice. And one of the things I hate about videos is repetition, so the videos will be more in detailed on the Mercedes channel as well, especially for changing the calipers. Probably the only video I'll do on this, because leaf springs, well, maybe I'll do it, but leaf springs are pretty self-explanatory, aren't they? A few bolts here and there. Right, I'm going to leave you for today, pack that stuff up, put it in here, and I will catch you tomorrow or the day after. Right, so, it's the next day. Today it was quite nice this morning when we went on our walk, and it looked quite promising, and now it's pissing it down. But I am just looking at this caliper for now. And I'm just going to put some gloves on because I'm not a complete mess today. I've got the GoPro working today, so I'm going to show you what's going on with this caliper up close. So this piston's stuck. I tried to move it yesterday and it didn't move. I didn't put much effort in because I was like, I don't really have time. Right, okay, so if I show you up close, as you can see here, that piston is still in there. Now, it's probably quite corroded. I'm hoping it's not, and I'm hoping they're all savable, but I do have a spare pair of calipers over there on that other axle. But, yeah, I tried getting this out yesterday, as I say, with a pair of grips, and it didn't come, so I'm going to try and just squirt some WD-40 down that gap here. And then I'm going to try and get some mall grips or something along the lines. No, that's not budging at all. Right, let's see if that will now come free. Fucking hell. Ah, yes they do. Oh, it's moving. Gonna give it some more heat first. I know the WD-40 burns, but it does help a little bit. Helps lubricate me to spin it. Fucking hell. Now obviously I've melted the shit out of the seal, but I think it's okay. I think it maybe only rusted to this like outer bit, because there's two seals, you see. You've got this inner square seal. I don't know if you can see. Then you've got like a rust coloured line. And then you've got the outer seal, which as you can see on that one. You kind of see in here that there's like an inner seal. That other black ring is a seal. And then, so you put that seal in first like an O-ring, and then you tap this in. This is a bit like the seals where they've got the metal outer casing and you tap them in. So yeah, that's not too bad. Jeff from the 410D channel, he has done a video on this and he's really good at his how-to videos. So if you want a how-to video on rebuilding the calipers, go check his out. But I'm going to be doing mine anyway, just to show you how to get that out. And also to show you how to get the pistons out, because he used an airline, whereas I don't have one. So there you are, keep it on the van, push the pistons out. If any are stuck, blowtorch. The only problem I'm now worried about is there is little O-rings between here that the fluid passes through that you shouldn't have to really change ever. Some kits do come with them and you can split the caliper, but Jeff from the 410D channel said that he's never split a caliper and it's never been an issue with it. I've just heated this really hot, so I hope I haven't fucked that seal. But to be fair, not even the one next to it's really got that burn, so I think it should be okay. It's not that hot. I mean, I can kind of touch it. It's pretty hot actually. So these are the, on another note, these are the shackles that came off yesterday, and the bushes and knees look pretty reasonable. The ones that were the worst, this is the front one I believe, the ones that were the worst were the rear ones. Look, this is one of the rear ones. As you can see, that bush isn't the best. This side was better. This is the driver's side. The passenger side at the back, however, if you have a look in there, you can see that bush is like on the squiff for one, and like sat right there, like there's barely any rubber at the bottom there, and you can see where it's kind of like twisted and sat in weird places. So that is definitely one of the bushes that's out. Okay, so it's a couple of days later now, guys, and Rose's axle's still off. I got the calipers painted and I managed to get some bleed nipples from town, and I'll show you all this when we get back or in the next video. Also, most excitingly, yesterday the new leaf springs came. And as you can see, they're in here looking really smart. They're not much more curved, but I can push the twin leafs down really easily, and you can't really push this down at all and get any flex on it. So they're much stiffer springs, so hopefully it will improve the ride, not make it terrible. But anyway, for today we are going away. I'm having a little break from the van. I've got some welding to do and do some painting in the wheel arches before then putting the brake calipers back, or brake calipers back on, bleeding the brakes, lifting it back up. I've got some U-bolts on order from Jones Springs in the Midlands in Birmingham. Chelsea's van trying to start, which I fixed the other day. It was a tensioner pulley, just the pulley on the end of the tensioner, not the actual whole tensioner. But the last 2 years Chelsea has replaced the tensioner, and yeah, it's just like Chinese shit basically. The bearing just gets rusty, explodes, and then the pulley falls off and it shreds the belt. £16 on a pulley, 30 quid on a belt from the local parts centre, and then it's now fixed and sounding better than ever, because that bearing's been going for ages. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for me for now. We're going to meet up with James with his two cats who we were travelling with last winter, and Charlie from the recent travels in his Mercedes 609, and hopefully when Rose is back up and running with her new leaf springs, we're going to take her down to the little spot at the bottom of the road, because it's on private land, and get some pictures with Charlie and his van and Rose side by side. But anyway, let's not delay, let's get in the van with Yoshi and Chelsea and head off down the road to a nice little spot for a nice break. Right, okay, hello everyone. I'm going to show you fitting these leaf springs, because there's a bit of a knack to it. I've got the 3 bolts which are wire brushed and then copper slipped, and then I also need I've got the shackle here, and I need the bottle jack, because you kind of have to persuade these in a little bit. Let's put the shackle on first. So the shackle, I couldn't be asked to clean these up. We've been away, and then it's been shit weather, it's been a storm, So yeah. There's a slightly shorter bolt for the rear, and put this on first because it makes it a bit easier, at least one of the bolts. I'm not doing them up today, just going to leave it. The U-bolts have arrived, but the seals for the caliper were wrong, so I'm waiting on that at the moment. My other wheel bearing, I was spinning it, which I've now released a video for, if you want to change. Video's up here. It feels quite tight, that one. But anyway, that's that loosely bolted on, so it swings. The clearance on these are like very little for these carriers. It's a bit tight, but it does just fit because the loops at the end are very long. I don't understand why they've got these loops, so yeah, I don't know. But anyway, need that hanger to go there. So I'm just going to spin this over and try and get that lined up in there. Doesn't really matter if it's in the right place on the axle. So then I'm going to put the bottle jack under this notch here and start jacking it up, and it should slot into place roughly. As you can see, it's just lifting up. It's just a bit stiff to do on your own, but the help of the jack is very, very useful. And then you get one of the long ones, which I've just kicked nicely into the mud and the dirt, which is just typical. But now I need to try and line this up, which can be quite annoying. Sorry, the GoPro's had a little fit, but basically, yeah, you jack that one up just the same. It's a bit tricky with the swinger because it, well, tries to swing. That looks about right. There we go. Now there's enough room to kind of hit it with the hammer, and then get the nut and put that on the other side. And there we go. And I also got the other one done earlier today. That was the first one I did, and I've kind of cleaned up the shock because it was looking really dirty, so now it looks nice and new again, and given the wheel arches a bit of a clean. And I've also done some welding and bits and bobs in here, and now it's all looking pucker and nice and straight, ready for some Denitrol to go in the wheel arches, which I've just ordered. Put some copper slip on that joint there because it was looking a bit rusty, and I've painted random bits. It looks shit, but I don't really care, because the lanyard guard will spruce it all up, and also it's a bit low to be painting and cold. So yeah, but I might do the black on the van tomorrow and kind of smarten it all up, get it looking nice and ready for a New Year's travelling. For now, I am going to leave you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow when I'm painting the van and smartening her up a bit, because she does need a little tart up. But yeah, I'll see you then. So, some twat being me forgot to plug the microphone in, and yeah, lost all the audio on this one. Anyway, I won't go into it too detailed on this channel because I have done a dedicated video on the calipers, or well, will be doing. But basically what I found out was that the Brembo calipers on Rose are not standard, they're ATE calipers, and basically that means they have a slightly different seal kit. So I had to wait to find the new set, which actually they don't sell anywhere. I got them all from a company called Big Red on eBay, and they don't sell a kit for the Brembos, but they sell so many different seal kits that one Mercedes seal kit happens to fit. So I'll stick that in the description of this video, along with the card up in the corner to the caliper rebuild video if it's out yet. If not, subscribe to the Mercedes channel, and that will tell you everything and all the ins and outs. But basically, yeah, Brembo calipers are a bit more pain in the ass because they have the same piston size still, but slightly different dust cover. Anyway, as you can see, I've painted the calipers in the same red enamel paint, and they look very, very smart. I've also gone and bought some bleed nipples from the local car parts store. That just makes bleeding the brakes loads easier because the other ones were rounded off. The next thing is also U-bolts. Now I bought extended U-bolts from Jones Springs. If you phone them up, say you've got a Mercedes T1 and you need front U-bolts, they have the curve pattern there and they can make them at any length you desire. And I chose, I think 100mm, but don't pick that long because they're way too long. Measure it up, maybe add a little bit on if you're going for thicker spring. So this day was mostly wasted faffing around with calipers. So on to the next day when we're on to fitting the axle. So, good morning everyone. If everything had gone smoothly yesterday, well, for one, you would have seen it because the camera battery wouldn't have kept dying, and two, Rose would have the front wheels back on. So, what happened yesterday? Problem number one, the U-bolts I bought that were extended were a little bit too extended, so there wasn't enough thread. Charlie came over, went to Screwfix and bought these M12 threaded bar joiners, but they're like a coarse thread, so they didn't thread on because we were going to drill out half of it, so we ended up drilling the whole thing out and using it as a spacer. So there's still the original nylock on the bottom. Now they do hang down, but no more than the anti-roll bar and the steering bar. Problem number two came with the calipers. This one, fine, bolted it back on. This one, however, as you can see, two of the seals are sitting here. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a bit of metal hanging off this piston down there, and that's not meant to be there. I was trying to pull the piston out yesterday and the piston came apart, and yeah, the piston just kind of split. So I don't think it's really savable because the seal won't be very good, so I've got to try and get one of the other pistons off the other calipers in there. And here is said pistons, so somehow I've got to try and get one of them out, and I've still got to get both of them out and put the seals on. Oh, fun and games. However, as you can see, we did get it all bolted up thanks to Charlie coming around and saving. But this caliper isn't attached, so I just need to take this off, put it over here as well, and as I said, swap bits over. Luckily, by coincidence, the Brembo calipers are not standard, but these both have Brembo calipers, so I'm very lucky on that part. You can see a little bit more as what's happened. That outer ring has just snapped and then came off, in a piece came off. So yeah. On a little job I did last night when I was bored and with Charlie and was frustrated about everything else going wrong, I fitted the Mercedes-Benz badge. So now look, she looks all proper. She's got that badge, she's got this badge, and I'm just about to fit this badge. So I just drilled the holes for it and then Obi-Wan around the holes, bob it on. And then we can make sure we get it the right way up. Oh, put my fucking finger in it, great. Voila! Rose now has a full set of badges. Looking good. I think I put it slightly on the squiff. It looks like it's going up a little bit, but oh well. Maybe that'll fix it. Whoops, don't know what happened there. Basically, I managed to crack one of the bleed nipples off of here, and now I am using a set of these adjustable grips to try and twist and lever this out of here. I could do with the lever bar as well. Just a little lever bar I've got here. They're quite useful little things. Got the bastard! Right, I'm going to clean that up with some brake cleaner. Although I still got to fucking tackle this one, ain't I? I think the only way I'm going to get these marginally out is put the caliper back on and put my foot on the brake. Every other scenario is just a pain in the ass. So I'm going to quickly do that. Okay, so I've got to do one job before I forget, which is very important, which is tighten the leaf spring bolts. Because I only loosely bolted this side in, and I tightened the other side up last night. So I need to do this side. Then I need to get some brake cleaner on the calipers because I've touched them with greasy hands for about the last week. Got this yoga mat. Aidan and Biff, I'm sure you remember the 410D I used to work on quite a lot. They're in Morocco at the moment. But he's got one of a yoga mat, and then Charlie got one the other day, and I was like, I need to get one because they're really useful for lying on the floor. So got myself one finally. When you bleed the calipers after fucking rebuilding them, there's a hell of a lot of fluid you got to use. I've used almost a whole bottle now. We're checking all these bolts pretty soon. I don't want to have a leaf spring come loose. Brake cleaner on all of this stuff. I was going to touch the calipers up a little bit, but the only place to scratch is at the bottom and you can't even see it. It's so close to the disc. Right, I need to get Charlie's jack, which is, he's off in a few days, but luckily I've just about got all this done. Many thanks to Charlie. I owe him, because he helped me when we had the accident last year as well. Oh, I'm forgetting something. Very important. Don't rush, people. Don't forget the pad fitting kit. And then you can hammer the pin in. Same on the other side. Right, there we go. Now let's give this incoming. There we go.
You're not wet then, dear?
No, it keeps my knees dry.
Good. Oh yeah, you've stuck your badge on.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of sealant on the outside.
I know, I'm gonna wait till after.
Yeah, she looks fucking better now. Look, you did this one good. Go do the driver's side good. Everyone see the driver's side.
That one's got the actual inserts.
Oh, is it?
It's the original wing, it's got plastic inserts.
Ah.
And you slot it in.
That one's not original on the outside.
I don't think so.
Just be careful of your head. I want you to drive it down the road. See how fast you can get and see what it's like at 40. See if we get vibration.
Well, that's the axle that did that before.
I know.
Well, yeah, I want to do that. That's it's loads better. Look at that. They're the 4-ton springs basically. That sits how it's meant to sit. The only reason it's slanted down here, which you guys can't quite see, is well because we're on a slant. Otherwise, that's pretty level. Right, here she is sitting on the new springs, and as you can see there is a decent gap there, and before when she was on this slope it was, yeah, you could barely get your fingers in like that, so it's a good 50mm. And if I show you under here, which I haven't shown you yet, there is the bump stop and there's the plate it sits in hard, but you can see there's a big gap here, and that is, yeah, basically the big difference. So we're going to take it down across the road to the canal to go see Charlie's van, and also dump all my rubbish because I've gathered quite a lot of it now. But yeah, I'm going to start the van up and see how she drives. It's nicer without the slack of the diff as well when you slow down. Well, here they are, the two Mercs. And as you can see, we're kind of looking very smart together. Hard to tell how she drives yet because I haven't built up any speed or gone around any corners really, but it certainly looks like it sits a lot better. And just in the taking the foot off the throttle and on again, the slack in the diff is so much better. Like it's like a different van. And I could crawl under that step now, definitely. It was like even tight for me before. That's how close that's the steps on the van were. The cab looks super cute on mine. It just looks so skinny compared to Charlie's. Like there's just a much wider stance, and then you just like beep. There's the backs. Oh, and there's a husky. Oh, there is dear old Rose. Parked up again. Look at that arch gap. Oh, so much better. Right, so that is us. We went down to Charlie, we took some pictures of the vans together, and dumped the rubbish and filled up on water. My little badge back there as well is looking super little smart there. So very happy with the work done on Rose. Finally we got there after loads of delays. It should have just been a quick job. It took me like 6 hours to strip everything down. 4 or 6 hours, I can't remember, but not long at all, and then it's taken ages to put it all back together. But anyway, there was snow on the mountains, it's very pretty today, and that is going to be it for me. Rose is driving again, and we're probably not going to do much more filming or anything. Next few days for me is phoning insurance companies, ready to get back on the road basically, because it's only a couple of weeks to my birthday, till I'm 21, and then we can move forward and do some travelling for a couple of months before Chelsea goes back to work. So yeah, but I've got some videos to edit and insurance to phone tomorrow, so lots to do, and got little bits to do on the van, but nothing major. I might film a couple of little bits, but it's not going to be loads. So that's going to be it for this week's video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, let me know what you thought about the video, and I'll see you in the next one.